Dear students, there was a confusion relating to a problem which was relating to outstanding expenses, advance paid, accrued income, and unearned income or revenue, whatever we receive in advance, or whatever we have paid in advance, or whatever is left to be received, or pending to be paid. Relating to that, there was a confusion of one problem in the question bank which I have sent. Here is the entries which I have prepared. You can observe that rent due but not paid, rupees 5,000, is an entry when rent is due to be paid. Okay, for example, now we are in October. Assume that October we used one building, and for which we had to pay a rent of 5,000 rupees, but we have not yet paid it. Okay, then it is an outstanding expenses. Okay, that is an outstanding expenses. The entry for this are, it hits two items. One is rent account, another one is outstanding rent account. Rent which is needed to be paid, expenses. Here our expenses are increasing, which we have to pay. And outstanding rent, I have not yet paid it. Okay, I have used the building but I have not paid it yet. ಇನ್ನು ನಾನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ it is liability. ನಾನು ರೆಂಟ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್. ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸಿಂಗ್, ದಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಡೆಬಿಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ journal entry, but I have not paid it yet. That is an outstanding rent account, so that is a liability. ಇನ್ನು ನಾನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. I may pay it in November or December, whenever it is, but it should hit in a outstanding rent account. So here liability is increasing. As per our rules, when liability increases, that should be credited. When expenses increases, expenses here expenses increases, that should be debited. So here the rent account data to outstanding rent account. Okay, next one is insurance not due but paid. Means anything which is paid in advance, income tax paid in advance, commission paid in advance, insurance paid in advance, or anything which we have paid in advance, rent paid in advance, anything which is not due. For example, let's assume that November, which we have not yet used, building I have not used, but I paid the rent today itself, 1st of November itself. Okay, I will use the building in the month of November full. Okay, that is paid in advance, right? In the same way, here insurance is not yet due but paid in advance. I had to pay insurance by end of November 30th or the December, but I have paid it in October end 31st only. That is insurance not due but paid in advance, that is rupees 2,000. That is paid in advance entry. When we pay anything in advance, that should be like prepaid insurance account data to insurance account. So prepaid should be debited, and the whatever the insurance, the expenses, okay, that should be credited. Here prepaid, since we paid it in advance, that is a current asset. Okay, anything which we pay in advance is a current asset. Here asset is increasing, and that should be debited. Next, that is insurance is expenses for us, which today or tomorrow we have to pay, right? So expenses here is decreasing as we have already paid it in advance. Okay, the insurance which I had to pay by end of December, I have paid it in October itself. That is why now I don't have to pay the insurance again, right? So insurance is paid in advance, hence expenses here are decreasing. Then we have to credit the item. So here, if in case of asset is increasing, if in case of assets are increasing, we need to debit the item. If in case of expenses here expenses are decreasing, we need to credit the item. Next, interest due but not received, rupees 3,000. Assume that somebody had to pay you interest amount. Okay, so somebody had to pay you interest amount in the month of October. Okay, but they have not yet paid to you. So what is happening here? Interest is due to be paid to you, but that person has not paid you. That is accrued interest. Okay, usually it happens in a company also. Okay, usually for example, for the month of October, I had to receive a salary but I have not yet received the salary. Today already it is November 1st. Like this is an example. Okay, so interest due but not received. Anything which, any commission due which is not received, rent due which is not received, anything which needs to be received but has not yet received, that we call it as a accrued item. Okay, accruals. So here accrued interest is a receivables. Okay, interest account data to interest account. Interest is a revenue or income to your business. Obviously it is a income to your business, but it is not yet received, that's why it is receivables. Receivables is a current asset, receivable is a current asset item. Asset is increasing as per the rules. When asset increases, that should be debited. Interest is a revenue item, income item. So when income is increasing, or that in here income is increasing, that should be credited. So here income is increasing, that should be credited. So next, interest is not due but received, means somebody had to pay you interest amount in the month of December 2023, but they have paid you today itself. That is paid in advance to you, or received in advance, we call it. Unearned interest received in advance, or what, interest which is not due but received, something like that they call it. That time cash has come to us, right? Cash has come to us, that cash is increasing, asset is increasing, we are debiting, and we are crediting the item to interest received in advance account, because here revenue is increasing and we are crediting the item. So the revenue which we had to receive in the month of December, we have received it in advance, that's why we are crediting that item in interest received in advance account. I hope that you have understood these four entries relating to outstanding expenses, amount paid in advance, accrued amount, and unearned amount. Okay, thank you.